Welcome back. In a few weeks, the annual court vacation will be over and the courts will fully come alive again. But let's do a recap now of some of the cases that the vacation judges are preoccupied with.
We begin with the report that a Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Abuja last week Tuesday expressed dissatisfaction with a suit filed by the Ahmed Makarfi faction of the People's Democratic Party against the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Ibrahim Auta, and another judge in the Abuja division of the court, Justice Okon Abang. The Makarfi faction of the PDP had filed the suit with respect to the ongoing leadership crisis in the party to, among others, seek the enforcement of the party's right to fair hearing. The faction blamed Justice Auta and Justice Abang for the various conflicting decisions given in relation to the leadership crisis in the PDP. The faction also said it was wrong for Justice Abang to assume jurisdiction on cases relating to the party's leadership crisis when a judge of the court's Port Harcourt division was already hearing similar cases. In one of his previous rulings on the matter, Justice Abang had said the PDP leadership crisis case was first assigned to him before the case on the same subject matter was filed before the Port Harcourt division. The Makarfi faction has, however, asked Justice Olukayode Adeniyi for an order setting aside all the decisions and orders made so far by Justice Abang in the cases of the PDP leadership crisis. But Justice Adeniyi has expressed reservations about the rationale behind the suit and what it seeks to achieve. On the same day, a former minister of the Niger Delta, Godsday Orubebe, last week Tuesday, failed to show up for his scheduled arraignment on charges of alleged diversion of about 2 billion naira meant for the dualization of some parts of the East-West Road. Mr. Orubebe's lawyer instead apologized to the vacation judge, Justice Olukayode Adeniyi, for the absence of his client, whom he said suddenly took ill after a domestic accident and was rushed to the hospital. The lawyer has, however, assured the court that the defendant will be ready to face his trial anytime he is discharged from the hospital. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission had preferred a 5-count charge against Mr. Orubebe and 3 others. At the Federal High Court, also sitting in Abuja, vacation judge Justice Okon Abang last week struck out an application filed by Sheikh Ibrahim El Zakzaki seeking his immediate release from detention by the Department of State Services. El Zakzaki is the leader of the Shia movement in Nigeria. He was arrested in December after a siege on his residence in Zaria, Kaduna State by soldiers. In turning down his application to enforce his rights, Justice Abang said Zakzaki ought to have obtained the leave or permission of court for the matter to be heard during vacation. The judge also explained that the applicant failed to serve the DSS, the Inspector General of Police, and the Attorney General of the Federation, who were joined as respondents to the application. A Plateau High Court sitting in Bukuru near Jos last week Wednesday suspended the Nigerian Professional Football League pending when the league management company would reinstate Giwa Football Club of Nigeria to the league. In a ruling on August the 12th, the court had overturned the suspension of Giwa Football Club from the league by the LMC and directed the company to reinstate the football club to the league. But the LMC had failed to comply, and this prompted Giwa Football Club to rush back to the court to demand for the enforcement of their fundamental rights and for the orders of the court to be obeyed. Justice Kunda, in his ruling last week, decried what he described as the delay tactics being employed by the LMC to prolong the case, knowing full well that the Nigerian league is time-bound and the league would have effectively ended before the case was determined. The judge, while declaring the case adjourned sine die, also told the defendants that they could proceed with their appeal. And we round off on a sad note. Last week, a popular Port Harcourt-based lawyer, Mr. Ken Atsuete, was assassinated by unknown gunmen at his residence. Reports indicate that the gunmen stormed Atsuete's residence, abducted him, and shot him several times. Atsuete was one of the counsel for the former chairman of Asari-Toru local government area, Ojukaye Flag Amakri, before he was assassinated. He was also one of the speakers at the just concluded conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, which held in Port Harcourt. Many lawyers have condemned his assassination and called on security agencies to fish out his killers.
And that's the program for today. If you missed any part of it, you can find it in past episodes on our YouTube channel. Do also give us feedback via any of our social media platforms. I'm Shola Shoyeli. Thank you for watching.